Well, Doug Wead is a former United States presidential advisor. He was White House special assistant under President George H.W. Bush, and he joins us now live from Washington, D.C. Thank you for your time, Mr. Wead. What will you be looking out for in tonight's debate?
I'd like to see Bernie Sanders stand up. He's got to send a very clear signal to the DNC that if they try to rig this process, they already have, in my opinion, in Iowa. He can't let someone else say that for him. He can't expect some member of the press to pick up his cause or some person on his staff. He has to open his mouth. He can't go quietly in the dark like he did with Hillary Clinton. He's got to speak up, send a very clear warning to the DNC. If you mess with the process, if this isn't fair, you'll pay. And I expect Michael Bloomberg to do extremely well. If he doesn't, he shouldn't be president. If he humbles himself, he's got all this money. If he's hired comedic writers in Hollywood, good political writers, good emotional writers, motivational speakers, put them all in a room, had them knock heads. He has one tremendous advantage. He knows what the questions will be. And you remember in 1984 when Ronald Reagan debated Walter Mondale, he knew that question was coming about age, and he answered it brilliantly. Bloomberg knows the questions are going to come on racism, on sexism, as the previous reporter mentioned, and there's no excuse for him not to have very short, funny, or emotional sound bites to put those questions to rest.
Let's talk a little bit about Joe Biden. As we said there, he entered the race as a front-runner, but now, according to this latest Reuters Ipsos poll, is now at just 13%. I mean, how important is this debate for him?
This is the last hurrah for Joseph Biden, so he's got to somehow get through it and make sure he knows he's in Nevada. He's got to not make a major blunder. Even the tiniest blunder would be the end of it for him. It's going to be hard for him, but if he can lay a glove on Bloomberg or on Sanders, then there's the possibility of a brokered convention. I don't expect that. That sort of gets baked in. It's like the stock market. People anticipate what will happen, and they see one of them is going to become the front runner, and all the energy will move to them. I'll watch Elizabeth Warren. She has to be humiliated by Bloomberg's entrance into the party and the welcome he's received by the Democrat National Committee. That has to hurt. I can still hear her voice just a few days ago railing about billionaires taking over the party. It was a bit disingenuous because billionaires supported the Democrats 20-1 in 2016. Nevertheless, that was what she talked about, and now here's a billionaire right in her face. It has to be a very hurtful experience for her to go out like this. I wouldn't be surprised if she tries to take a couple of good shots at Bloomberg.
Well, absolutely. Given her stance, as you said, on billionaires, you would expect that from her. Can you talk to us, for our international audience, about the upcoming Nevada caucuses? How important is this in this race?
Well, these early caucuses and primaries are extremely important because of the attention they're given. Here, we're on television now talking about it. We're not going to be on television talking about Alabama or Oklahoma, even though those will occur on Super Tuesday, where we'll be talking about a whole block of states. But these early contests, this one especially for the Democrats, because Nevada represents more of the diversity of their makeup as a party and the support they get as a party. So this is an extremely important, and Bernie Sanders is pulling away, and that has to be alarming to some of the establishment Democrats because they may not want Donald Trump running against a candidate who can be labeled as a socialist. So there's a dilemma.
A democratic socialist, as he calls himself. Thank you for that. We'll have to leave it there. That's Doug Wead there, former United States presidential advisor and White House special assistant to the president under George H.W. Bush. Thank you.